Alrighty, gang. Welcome back to Legions of Nagash Total War Warhammer 3. Let's play. Where we left off, we have now failed in our ambush. Neferatta now has to hold her own against an absolute swamp of orcs. They have as much winds of magic as we do. They have plenty of casters. This is going to be a quite crumpin' fight. Let's see if Neferatta can stand her ground on the battle map. Alrighty, gang. Neferatta once again back against a wall. We're going to see how well her forces do. She has a decent army, but again, with the leadership issues we face, is a guessing game. We got a front line of skeleton spearmen with zombies defending, being the bulwark. We got arch units. You can see right there, we attempted an invocation of Nahek. Unfortunately, the way the game works is they already have their regeneration cap, so they can't go beyond that hit point pool. Very unfortunate. That was a wasted spell right there, one we could use later on in this battle. But she's got a lot of winds of magic to use. And you can see there from all these health bars just how that, what was that ability? That Staff of Pain, I think is what she's got. Come on, baby. Yeah, Staff of Pain, 4 to 8 damage a second every time she casts spells for 10 seconds. We're going to send her and Redfish Blue. We're going to send them both out to sally out. We're going to see if we can't do some damage to either A, their Snotling Pump Wagons, or B, their Lord. Their reinforcements have already arrived, and there's plenty more where that came from. Most worryingly is that unit of squig bombs, or I can't remember exactly what it's called. We'll see what happens when they land on the battlefield. Meanwhile, Neferatta herself is going to be marching out. We're going to approach the right flank because we got this nice little choke point here. Her being on a mount is very useful because she's going to be able to defend herself quite well. And of course, Redfish Blue in the sky there, trying to help her out. She's going to cast a Penumbral Pendulum, and just look at that damage. Quite a bit of damage right there. Going to be able to do about 7,000 of which, and of course because she cast that spell, she's going to do even more damage to the enemy with her Staff of Pain. We're going to try and float around the battlefield. We're going to see what we can do here. Try and kill their fast movers if we can. That's what Redfish Blue is going to do. He's going to take out some of them squig herds, killing one per strike, having a ball. I think squigs would be fun to fight. They're just little, almost like little kickballs, little foosballs. Meanwhile, those Snotling Pump Dragons are going to be attracted to us. We're going to throw their little magic mushrooms. We're going to bring Neferatta in to do more damage and support. A volley missed, fortunately, us being such a small target. We've already got that squig herd to be enraged. Those Snotling Pump Wagons are going to be interested in just throwing mushrooms at Neferatta, but she's done worse in her lifetime, I think. And she's got herself well and properly surrounded. We're going to get ourselves another Penumbral Pendulum. And just look at that damage. Cutting swaths through the enemy. But unfortunately, Neferatta is well and truly stuck. We're going to keep our army in the corner because, as we saw last time when she fought at overwhelming odds, she is a very capable fighter. It's just whether or not she can kill faster than she can get hurt. She's already inflicted Helm of Discord and Seduction, reducing the melee attack and defense of these units to nothing. Going to be doing maximum amounts of damage to these forces. They have no stats. We're going to be seeing that pop off constantly reducing the combat effectiveness of these goblins and just getting her even more into the more damage out. Meanwhile, Redfish Blue is going to be trying to join her supporter. They're going to be stuck in there for the remainder of the battle. Meanwhile, our army was originally going to sally out, but like I said again, we're going to try and keep them corner camping. Meanwhile, we're going to use the Doom Riders to great effect in this battle. They're going to sally forth and take out those squigs while our army is out of formation to keep them from interrupting us. And look at that damage. Charge popped off, 40% damage off the rip, and we're going to bring the Bats in to support as well. We're going to kill that unit as quickly as possible. Their goblins are going to get in, but they're going to be too slow. We're going to be able to kill that unit as quickly as we can, send it off, and meanwhile our Doom Riders now are going to be hitting their charge ability. That banner they have on their person, Wayfarer, is going to give them 200% acceleration, deceleration, make them not suffer any combat penalties or speed penalties on terrain. Very useful ability. Also, they got the Doom of Nagash, which increases in intensity. Each kill made by the unit is going to increase their weapon damage and armor-piercing weapon damage up to 35%. They're going to be very killy this battle. They're going to do what they can to stay in the battle, just so long as they don't get tar-pitted and pulled down by a swath of goblins. Meanwhile, up here, we're just going to keep on constantly popping debuffs. Neferatta herself is going to keep slaughtering these goblin hordes. Getting poked in the side by the Snotling Pump Wagon. I mean, unfortunately for her mount, that's her horse taking the damage there. Covered in orc blood. Meanwhile, Redfish Blue is fighting almost back-to-back. If they could reach each other, probably back-to-back, but they're shifty. The little goblin shaman's going to be waltzing around. He's going to be... We're trying to force them to pop most of their magic to support these units. We don't want them to get impacted on us. Meanwhile, the battle is almost joined. I did not pay attention. I was too busy over there casting their abilities and micromanaging this. Look at these Doom Riders just plow through these units. They're still going. They're taking it as a home run. They're going all the way with that. Now, this is the danger right here. Once the charge has subsided, being able to use their mass to pull them through units. They have a mass of 750. The average goblin has a mass of 90. They're going to be plowing through them, but once they start getting hung up by the Snotling Pump Wagons or the Squig Herd, it's going to be bad news bears. Meanwhile, the battle lines have finally joined. The wall has kicked off, and they're going to be doing damage to our zombies and our skeleton spearmen. Our archers, meanwhile, are going to try and focus down the bigger of the blobs, and we're going to try and hold what we can on this embankment. We got a unit of skeleton spearmen bracing themselves for the goblin horde as they charge in. Very brutal charge indeed. That wall ability is going to boost them up to 48 melee attack, well above what our troops have. But fortunately for us, that's not a permanent effect. Our left flank is collapsing. Our doggos and our bats are falling apart, but our Nagash guard is going to be a bulwark on that flank to hold. They are going to cleave these goblins to pieces and show them what it means to stand against Nagash's forces. All the while, we're going to start marching our Doom Riders in. They've lost 4 models. They're at half strength, but they're still kicking. They're going to try and march towards the help of their liege lady with their ethereal units. They're going to charge those Snotling Pump Wagons, do as much damage as they can, and look at the damage they inflict. They're going to be slaughtering these guys. Unfortunately for us, they got a wall, which means they're going to be a little bit more boofy. Buffy. Look at all that damage. We are deleting those units. We managed to break Neferatta out and Redfish Blue. I'm so used to Nagash and Phostos and Hans Lambda. It's going to be hard to keep them straight. Their unit, Doom of Nagash, is 100%. Now their weapon strength is 71. They are going to annihilate fools. Do tremendous amounts of damage. They are a legendary unit indeed, and they're going to be mounting the aid of their... they're going to be answering the call to Lady Neferatta. This backline's clearing up pretty well. We're going to chase down the Snotling Pump Wagons. We're going to focus on their lords and heroes. We're going to do as much as we can to kill their lords. We're going to have Redfish Blue target Shifty himself. You can see him trying to run away. Look in the background. He's sizing him up right now, and look at him coming. He is just charging in, but that unit of goblins is going to interfere. But it doesn't matter anyway, because Shifty himself is going to be taken down to pasture. It's just whether or not Redfish Blue can find him in the sea of goblins that he finds himself in now. Our Doom Riders, of course, are going to be tearing apart the goblins and doing what they can to run interference while we continue to do this blob. Neferatta is very suited for the blob. Doom Riders are taking a tremendous amount of damage. We're going to pop Invocations in the heck to keep them going. They're going to reach the end of their regeneration cap. Meanwhile, our forces are crumbling. Neferatta, again, heartless to her servants. She is going to let them die. She is going to let them fight to the end for her glory, and if they go, they go. They are going to mount a final last stand. Skeleton swordsmen cutting those goblins to pieces. They're just going to be swarmed and overthrown by this Greentide. Our archers now taking damage, and those Nagash with halberds are doing another last stand. This isn't the first time they have been betrayed by Neferatta. It's probably going to be the last time. They're not going to see the end of this battle, unfortunately, despite their legendary service. 300 kills and counting. Incredible. Meanwhile, the Doom Riders are going to be focusing down Shifty, tearing him apart. We are going to have Neferatta, if she hasn't already, pop off Blissful Death on one of these heroes to get them as quickly as she can to death. Her and Redfish Blue are going to be taking Gitter, and they're going to be beating him up as quickly as possible. The Doom Riders are more attuned to tearing apart heroes than our actual heroes are. But that is okay. Shifty is, we're going to swap her out. She's going to tag team Shifty. Doom Riders are going to go out and finish off Gitter, because Redfish Blue just wants to fly above him and rain on his parade. Shifty, however, is not going to be able to defend against Neferatta and her magical sword. Meanwhile, Heralds of Khorne and the most terrifying unit in the greenskin roster, the Mangler Squid. When they die, they cause an explosion that does 66,000 to 133,000 damage a second for 2 seconds. Absolutely tragic. We cannot allow them to get into our Doom Riders at all. We're going to send... Oh, watch out behind you, Redfish Blue. He's going to be attacked. We do not want Redfish Blue in on that. We're going to try and bring Neferatta out. She's going to tank these units. Her damage resistance spell that she has, her lightning reflexes, is going to be essential. We're going to run our Doom Riders as quickly as we can. We casted a Gaze and Nagash to those Mangler Squids, but we did not kill a model. They're going to get stuck in on our Doom Riders. Our Doom Riders are running as quickly as they can. Another Invocation in the heck brought them back up to half strength from a third. Meanwhile, Neferatta is in with the Mangler Squids, doing what she can to destroy them. Casting a Hexing Blade to reduce their stats as best she can. Their health is dropping tremendously fast. They are a throwaway unit. The AI loves throwaway units. We're going to cast a Penumbral Pendulum on this horde. One of them is already popped. Fortunately, Neferatta has shaken that attack off. Doesn't even care. She's going to keep fighting these Mangler Squigs as they just rip apart their own units. They've already blown up, killing even more goblins. It's just absolute pandemonium. Her army is completely destroyed in the rear. The Doom Riders are running interference with the Goblin reinforcements, trying what they can. Meanwhile, Redfish Blue is going to try and take out their archers, keep them from doing range damage. We're going to make every single wound they inflict on our heroes as bloody as possible in kind. We're almost done with those Mangler Squigs. Just absolute destruction here, chaos. They've done more damage to their own goblins, but they don't care. Their Greentide's replaceable. They got even more goblins. pouring in. They still have a quarter of a stack, and with that last pop, the Mangler Squids are gone. Our main threat to our forces, now all we need to do is just cut through 3,000 more goblins. We've already killed 2,000 of them. We got 46 units left, our 2 heroes and our Doom Riders. Our Doom Riders have reached their health cap, so they're stuck. They're as good as they're going to get. We got to keep on using them as best as we can, running down retreating units, killing Snotling pump wagons, doing what we can. Redfish Blue is killing more Squiggiths, ripping them apart. Neferatta is getting stuck into another mob of greenskins, and this is just going to keep on keeping on. 15 minutes of absolute carnage. Insane in the membrane. Absolute slaughter. Our Doom Riders are chasing down their Snotling pump wagons, and their horde finishing off our army. Absolute disaster. So many bodies on the field of battle. So many skeletons that are not going to come home. I guess there's tombs, maybe. But just look at the utter carnage on that embankment there. Absolute disaster for us. Neferatta is now starting to taste a bit of a sting from her own hubris. The goblins want to take a poison bath, of course. Very tired, exhausted even. 14 melee attack on their average unit. One single spell of debuff, Helm of Discord, or her seduction, and they have no melee attack. They can't do any damage to her. We're going to try and keep Redfish Blue and Neferatta in together as close as we can. The Doom Riders have their last sally, the Charge of the Light Brigade, just surrounded by squigs and goblins, being torn down as they fight to the end. And fight to the end they have, killing 600 of the foe today and counting. Absolute legends. They've done over 58,000 damage, killed about $3,600 worth of enemy forces in this battle, but it was just not enough. They are slowly getting ripped down, torn to the ground into the mud and the muck. This is their version of Agincourt, but they put up a better fight at least, and they look so cool. Look at that unit. Just look at him. He poked a goblin to death, and then they got stabbed in kind. That's the end of the Doom Riders. That's the end of their saga. We will definitely be using them again once they replenish, and they will replenish because the undead forces serve Nagash forever. Meanwhile, like I said, we're going to get Redfish Blue and Neferatta together to do what they can. Just look. Look at the Greentide. Just absolute carnage here. There is no escaping it. We cannot retreat. The avenue for retreat has passed us. If Neferatta wasn't so prideful, we would have been able to retreat, regroup, and fight again. But unfortunately, that's just her modus operandi. She didn't think these mere greenskins could put up this much of a fight, and now she's paying the price. Barely any damage whatsoever. Just constantly destroying those fools, doing what they can. They now have a Night Goblin Big Boss in the battle. We're going to focus him down and tear him apart, but they're going to just sack on more goblins, and we're going to see this in fast forward mode. I think you get the picture. We are going to keep chopping down who we can, but they just have so many units. The 6,000 total on the field, lost half their forces. We're going to keep slaughtering them as best we can as they just keep cycle charging us. They're going to be running around in the background doing Pilates or something, I don't know. But we're going to focus on their units one at a time, and for the most part, I think we almost had this. If we had more heroes in the army, instead of just chaff units, I think we could have won this. Because if we just piled them up in a big old ball, they would have been able to do enough damage. But you can see now, her health cap has now been seen. She can regenerate no more hit points. The clock has started ticking. 25 minutes into the battle, and now Redfish Blue is already at half strength. He is going to keep taking damage. He's going to try and focus on that Goblin Big Boss, tear him down as much as he can. Also, meanwhile, he's going to focus, once he's done killing that goblin big boss, he's going to focus on their archers. Meanwhile, Neferatta is still stuck poking at the enemies, getting poked herself. Just absolute pandemonium. Doing more seductions, more Helms of Discord, more lightning reflexes just to keep herself prolonged in the battle. But as you can see, already down to half strength. Once the clock starts ticking, there's no way to deny it. And of course, she is going to be utterly surrounded. Just no way to go against that. There's just so many greenskins. A target-rich environment. If we had any more spells to cast, this would have been the time. I think if we were a little bit more conservative and had like 2 or 3 penumbral pendulums, we might have seen some more victory this day. But as you can see now, her leadership is falling. She's down to a quarter of her health, and she's going to hit crumbling. Her and Redfish Blue are now going to start to crumble. And that is the end. A Pyrrhic victory for Dripping Fangs. Over 3,000 dead on their side. Absolute annihilation. We're going to see the effects of that on the campaign map. Alrighty, gang. Valiant defeat indeed. Some say it was Neferatta's folly, but she fought to the last and drug innumerable amounts of greenskin down with her. I don't think... We killed a lot of lords, but I don't think we killed enough. They're going to be back, and they're going to be brutal. With that defeat, our southern flank is now open for the greenskin tide. I think we're going to lose all that territory there. Thalandor Doomstar is marching up north. We got that dwarf going back and forth, all them forces. We have now unlocked the territory Mortarch of the Night, and this is the unfortunate thing about this mod. Why is it that it destroys...
An intriguing play.
Well, I guess. We're going to try and colonize what we can. That's really unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. I was hoping to maintain those tiers of settlements, but you know what? That's the way the cookie crumbles. We got Manfred von Karstein, his own army. He has 25 skill points. We are going to get campaign movement range, Spirit Liege, Invocation, and the Hunger. He's already pretty decent, and he's got his own Ashigarth, and Abyssal Terror. Ooh, look at that. Lore Master, Lore of Vampires. Curse of Years. We might get that later once he unlocks a few. He's got some, he's got a whole ton of spells. We're gonna get Gaze and Nagash, Van Hell's Dense Macabre. Melee attack, melee defense. We're gonna get the ability Bloodlust, which gives him armor-piercing weapon damage and a cooldown around himself. And unlock Life Leeching as well. He's gonna have casualty replenishment rate and Undead Horde growth. We're gonna get him. I'm interested in the last two, but not this first group. We'll unlock a couple of each just because. Get the Fate of Buna and the Purple Sun of Xeres. We're gonna get Evasion, Winds of Death, Magical Reserves. We're also gonna get him extra hit points there. Does he come with any special? He's got the Armor of Templehof, which gives him plus 10 armor, plus 10% ward save, wound recovery time minus 1 turn, melee defense of 6, physical resistance of 10, and the ability Regenerating Flesh, which is an active ability. He can hit it once and he gets himself his own invocation and the heck, very useful. Last 33 seconds. Give him that much more. He's got Geistvor, Sword of the Unholy Power. Income from post-battle loot plus 10%. He's going to have Vampiric Corruption plus 5. Recruitment cost minus 10%. Melee attack is 6. And an additional 6 enables magical attacks, weapon strength of 10, and the passive ability of Sword of Unholy Power, which gives him, if he's in melee, recharge rate for his magical abilities. That'll be useful. He's got himself a decent army here. Unfortunately, he's out of campaign movement range, or movement, so we're gonna start marching towards these ruins. We're gonna try and claim them for ourselves. Archon, of course, is gonna be able to reach it. He's gonna get Khemri first. Colonize that. This here is a full-on settlement, so this is gonna be the focal point of our, yeah, this is going to be the focal point of our territory. This is one of those dead ruins. We're going to try and recruit that as quickly as possible. Archon is going to mount the defenses there. This is going to give us a good boon to our economy, hopefully. Meanwhile, Skarbrand is marching up north to Granti Mingol. He's got a spawned Khornate army following behind him. Oh, good heavens. Yeah, they got a lot of notifications to click through. All stuff we've already covered. Neferatta is wounded. She will recover, but where will we drop her off at? We unlock the Bone Colossus Regiment of Renown, a grotesque and violent necrolith, as much of a construct as it is a rock and graveyard. Very interesting. Nagash himself is going to take his army that's still wounded. We got skill points to distribute for him as well. We are going to, like I said, we're gonna upgrade the Hand of Dust, because I just like the fact that he just sucker punches fools. We're also gonna get him the, let's see which one of these books in Nagash we want. Which one's the best first? Fourth book, I think. No, we just covered that one. Second book of Nagash gives us extra campaign line of sight and banishment. So we're going to get the second book of Nagash. We're going to equip it in his army. So he's going to get extra leadership aura, which will be useful for his front line. Now we got Oftos. We're going to give him more... yeah, we're going to give him Undying Servitude, so that way he's pretty much permanent in our armed forces. We're going to give him Hard to Hit to increase his melee defense, make him a little bit tougher. Hans Lambda, of course, he's already pretty good. We are going to get him the ability Colossal Strike, which increases his base weapon damage, armor-piercing weapon damage by 25%, and bonus versus large plus 16. So he's going to be able to target a lot of big beefy boys. Meanwhile, Steinberg von Deal, I don't know why I was saying Steel last episode. We're going to get you more HP. We want you to be a little bit more rigid. Meanwhile, we definitely want more casualty replenishment rate. Yeah, we're gonna march out. We're gonna see what Stormhenge has to offer. It's going to kill one of our units of Nagash Guard. That is very unfortunate. We're gonna drop the Gleaming Pendant on those Bone Reapers to give them a little bit more morale, and we are going to attack this battle. I am not going to lose a unit to augmented ability. So we got 2 leadership buffs. Not my favorite use of it, but you know what, we'll throw this on one of our Nagash Guard. We need to get better banners for this army, or if not better banners, better units. Yeah, I'm going to see you all on the battlefield. We're going to fight this one out. Hopefully it won't be too tremendous. Stay tuned. Alrighty, the auto-resolve wanted to remove one of our Nagash Guard. We're not going to let them. we are going to use Nagash and his bone throwers to do as much damage as we can to the enemy. I forgot our heroes were deployed on the flank here. We're going to move them over real quick. Like we discovered too late in the last battle, once an allied unit has a certain amount of hit points at the start of a battle, they cannot regenerate. So unfortunately for us, we are going to waste another healing spell here. But after this, we're going to learn our lesson. Heroes, however, don't have that. So I wonder what the difference is. Black Pyramid, of course, looming over the battlefield. A symbol of Nagash's power. Look at all those obelisks. Could you imagine being the the architect who's trying to build obelisks upside down? That would be such a pain in the rear. We're going to get all our units grouped up together, all our wounded units, and we're going to cast a Soul Stealer. It's going to be very effective in topping off our heroes, Steinberg, Von Deal, and Hans Lambda especially, but it's not going to be too good against those units that, like I said, have their health cap topped. But it is a very, very pretty pink for this battlefield. We're going to keep bombarding the enemy. They're going to be dodging our shots, or trying to, while they wait for their reinforcements to come in. I'm going to send Nagash and his heroes out to show these fools what it means to behold the power of Nagash himself. He is a very legendary defender. Look at his stats: 78 melee attack, 71 melee defense, 561 melee weapon strength. And already in contact, those doggos are not enjoying themselves. They now have Malediction of Nagash for 20 seconds, reducing their weapon damage, and their vigor is going to be increased by 20%. And meanwhile, we're going to be bombarding the enemy with our bone throwers. We're going to wait till they pull in a little bit better. Their troops are going to charge in. We're going to leave our heroes to rest for a minute. They deserve the rest. They're going to be... this is one of those undercover boss days where Nagash is going to show us how it's done. And the dogs are already crumbling. He's going to move on to those Chaos Warriors of Khorne now. And now that he's got a decent amount of units stacked up on him, he's going to use that Book of Nagash to unleash a bound spell of banishment. And look at the damage it caused. Yeah, just a blinding ball of white light, a little bit ethereal, a little bit of light magic. Kind of unusual for the Lord of Undeath. But, you know, I mean, it's such a cool spell effect, too. Look at that. There's a blinding ball of white light, destroyed those units, reduced their health tremendously. He's going to keep batting these Khornate worshippers away. Meanwhile, some of their doggos are going to charge our bone golems. We're going to show them why that's a bad idea, and Snippy himself is going to get in on these doggos, stabbing them with his stinger and snipping their little feetsies. They're not going to like that. They're going to run away. Unfortunately, they're faster than him. They're going to try and focus our bone thrower, but that's why we left the skeleton reapers to defend. They're going to be very useful for this battle. Oh, we missed it. He summoned a magic fist. Look at what he did to Scar Bloodwrath with that overcharged fist attack. Just gave him a right hook, just destroyed him. That dude's going to trot back and forth. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's disoriented to all high heavens. Meanwhile, we summoned in that triad of Kandurak, that summoned hero ability. They're going to get in now. They're going to help Nagash, their liege lord, while they can. The enemy has also summoned... Moxia has returned. Moxia is going to fight us. We're going to do another Soul Stealer. Give them a little bit more health. Keep them in the fight for a little bit longer. We're going to summon an Abyssal Swarm that goes wide. It's going to walk past us. Not a very good spell attack, but, you know, c'est la vie. The Triad is done. It's been put to bed, unfortunately, but that does not mean that Nagash himself is done. He's only getting warmed up. Suffered no damage this entire time. And look at that. He's already summoned another fist. It's locked in, and Boom! Down goes Scar Bloodwreath. A nice right hand from the Legion's Lord of Undeath. A beautiful attack. We're going to send Hans Lambda and Aphostos in. They're going to focus on beating up Moxia. We're going to bully Moxia. Meanwhile, some Bloodletters are going to attack our Nagash Shark Guard with halberds. We're going to see them off handily. We have sundered the armor that does not exist for them, and they're not going to stick around for that one. They're going to dissolve. Meanwhile, yeah, that's the end of it. Their hero was the only one left, and he is running for his dear, sweet life. Absolutely Folley. We're going to see the effects of that on the campaign map. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, gang. From that battle, we saw Nagash's power. We didn't want to really have our army fight that. We want to preserve them as long as we can. We got another banner. Nagash got another rank to his levels. That's very good. We lost 56 troops. Very good. Unfortunately, as you've seen, one of the annoying things about playing battles with damaged units is their health cap. You can't replenish to full, which I think is kind of annoying. We might, for the sake of, you know, Nagash's abilities, which is just respawning, we might look at making a mod that removes the regeneration cap, but that might be for a later argument. Let me know your own thoughts. I don't want to make us too broken and overpowered, because as you can see, I want to have a challenging campaign, but I also want to get some of the stuff right, and I think it would be better for us if we could like replenish units in the battle so we could come out better than we were before, but that might just be fixed with the casualty replenishment building. Meanwhile, we're going to loot and occupy this, get some extra cash up in hand. We're going to regenerate just a little bit. We can't encamp, so if we go outside, we're going to suffer attrition. We're just going to have to hope that their units... They're too weak to attack us. If they attack us, it's because they think they're going to win on the auto-resolve. And as you've seen, auto-resolve doesn't mean squat when you have Nagash himself. Campaign... casualty replenishment rate, that's what I'm looking for right now. Campaign effects, 8%. We're going to bump that up just a little bit with Undying Horde. That's going to get us up to 15%, and then once we upgrade, that's going to go up an additional 20%. So we're going to get quite a bit. Leechbone Pendant might be useful. Gold Sigil Sword as well. We've assigned him the second book of Nagash. Crown of Discovery. Defeat Azag the Slaughterer. So, in order for him to get his Crown of Nagash... Oh my good heavens, even more capabilities. Spell Mastery plus 100%. Okay, so we're already at 200% Spell Mastery, but that's going to just throw us overboard. His spells are insane. As you can see, that's no longer blue, so we lost our Endless Tomb. I think we probably should have held on to that for when we needed it the most, especially with Neferatta's battles. That's a mistake that hopefully we'll be able to recover from. Our front line up there is exposed, but fortunately we haven't really invested that much into it. We got a semi-decent garrison at Silver Pinnacle, but nothing to write home about. The only good news about losing Neferatta is we have swung back into the green once more with our economy. So we're going to get a few more level ups with Oftos and the others. Oftos is going to get Foe Seeker, so he can start unlocking the weapon strength and the health. That's going to be our next goal for him. Hans Lambda, of course, we're going to get him more melee defense so he can be even more tanky. He already has poison attacks, so... Steinberg Von Deal, don't know why I keep saying Steel, is going to get even more HP points. It's going to make him even more tanky. We just want our troops to be as tanky as possible. We now have new technology. Income from post-battle loot. I'll be willing to dump $1,000 onto that. That'll give us even more cash, because you can see most of our economic growth has just been from our post-battle loot. Very necessary. We got an imminent rebellion in Stormhenge. That's fine. We are going to go down to our vassal real quick. Where is he? There he is. Open up diplomacy.
Dear. That smells like grave rot. An unfortunate disease. Perhaps I could supply a cure.
I'd rather you not. Okay. So unfortunately, because his territory doesn't touch, we can't give him Granti Mingal. For some reason, we can give him Khemri and Numas, even though that's the same issue there. Very unfortunate. We're going to have to, again, march Nagash in a big old circle in the middle of the marshes to try and get what we can done. Of course, the elves are at war with us now, and they've sallied out. Genevieve is going to march herself up to Morgheim. We're not concerned about damaged buildings. That rebellion is not going to be in our control. We're going to have to deal with that. And where is Khorne marching? They're marching southeast. Skarbrand's really fixated on taking down that settlement. That's fine. Leave him to his business. Fortunately, we're getting those heroes away from us on Khemri. We can also now, because we own Khemri, we can now do the siphoning of Khemri, which will give us even more army buffs, which we're going to need. Yep, that is Clan Scryer. How crazy is that? Oh, we lost the Black Tower of Arcan. How unfortunate there. I think Clan Scryer is at war with the Orcs. We'll have them fight amongst themselves for right now. The less they're attracted to us, the more likely we are to succeed in this campaign. We're just kind of like pretending we don't exist, hiding in the sands, unfortunately. That's just the way the cookie crumbles in this campaign. It's been a very brutal, long campaign, and it doesn't feel like we've got a whole lot done, which I apologize for. But we're kind of just really getting our feet wet here. Dusty is back with a vengeance. Oh man, that little bugger. We're just gonna accept that we've lost this campaign for right now. We're having our own French Indochina scenario. We're pulling out of Saigon real quick. For some reason, instead of taking their territory, they've seen fit to sack it. Our vassal, meanwhile, is hunting down our wandering hordes, which is all right, but not the best thing. They're gonna kill our vassal and threaten Numas. Unfortunate. Alrighty. So the greatest von Karstein. Manfred von Karstein's hubris is legendary. He sees himself as the greatest of his bloodline and will stop at nothing to prove it. Income from post-battle loot plus 15%. Mortarch of Despair has been unlocked. Now we can get Krell. That's going to be very useful for us. Not too worried about Granti Mingal. Not too worried about, we might... is that going to take too much? We might as well march to Gorgazan. Yeah. We're going to march to Gorgazan. We're going to take it. Pyrrhic victory? Are you kidding me? It's because it's a settlement. Alright, well, we're going to fight this settlement battle. The auto-resolve does not like our forces, unfortunately, but we are going to prove to them why Nagash is feared. I will see you all on the battle map. Alrighty, gang. Another auto-resolve that does not favor us. We're going to show the computer why they should fear Nagash. We're going to keep our units in reserve. They're going to take a bit of fire from those towers. We're going to have Alphostos and Hans Lambda spread out, tear down those Khornate towers as quickly as possible. We're going to keep our units in reserve, provide artillery support, but for the most part, just try and keep their heads down and preserve them for the battles that lie ahead. Meanwhile, Steinberg von Deal and Snippy have joined forces. They're going to charge into those Khornates. We're going to just punch straight through the center of this orcish settlement. I see Khorne has decided not to redecorate. He's not much of an interior decorator. Feng Shui does not matter to him. Meanwhile, Snippy, get in. Look at that. Flinging Khornate worshippers around just like he always wanted to. Snipping their legs and their arms and stinging their heads, as a good Tomb Scorpion does. And Nagash himself has arrived on the battlefield now, absolutely flinging Khornate Chaos Warriors around in pieces. I have forgotten just how slow Varian the Grim is. He's going to take a sweet time. He's in retirement. He has no rush. He's brought all his friends with him. He's trying to claim their life insurance policies. We're going to see how well that works. He's reading a book. It's probably a Scott McCormick novel. A Cormac McCarthy novel. Sorry, not a Scott McCormick. I'm thinking of someone else. He's probably just sitting there chilling, reading Blood Meridian or something evil like that, talking about how living things are not existing under his consent. He's finally going to join the battle, and we're already almost all the way through that Chaos Warrior Khorne unit. We have destroyed their main army. We're going to bring Oftos down into the battle. He's going to descend from the heavens and cause damage to these Khornates. He's going to have fun doing it too. Meanwhile, we have destroyed the other tower, and we're going to bring Hans Lambda in. We're going to use a Soul Siphon to top up our units. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but Hans Lambda always starts the battle with about a quarter of his health removed. I've noticed that watching a few of the battle replays. He's always damaged at the beginning of the battle, irregardless of what his health says on the campaign map. Varian the Grim has deleted a Khornate unit that was running away, and now they're going to be risen again as Skeleton Reapers to fight their brothers in arms. We're going to see how well this ability, how much this ability snowballs in this battle as we go through unit one after another. Snippy himself, with the help of Hans Lambda, are going to be tearing up their left flank. Meanwhile, on the right flank, we got Varian the Grim and his horde of summoned skeletons. The Khornate worshippers do not like that, so they're going to start sallying down the mountainside. We're going to send Hans Lambda in to answer. He's going to decide to step on those spikes, hurt his toes a little bit, but he's going to be all right. Halberds, a dangerous exchange between us and Snippy. Snippy's going to retreat a little bit while the Skeleton Reapers soak up most of the damage. And look at them just flinging those heavily armed Khornate units around. Absolute insanity. One of my favorite units in the mod so far. Just flinging troops about. Meanwhile, Nagash himself, Supreme Lord, is going to use another banishment. Look at that. Perfect timing. Those demons are not going to know what hit them. Absolutely tearing them apart. They're going to send Khornate doggos down the mountainside, and we're going to see Nagash just tear apart the enemy. We're going to summon an Abyssal Swarm in on the rear. That's going to do damage to them. It's going to see those doggos off. They do not like being attacked by their own undead kind. Meanwhile, Khorne's just going to keep flooding troops into the gap. We have Phostos now. He's going to be running tower interception. He's going to be destroying their towers as they spawn, trying to mitigate as much damage as we receive from the enemy. But our health is pretty much topped off. And look at that, another unit of Skeleton Reapers summoned in the back line. That's 2 units of Skeleton Reapers now, just tearing apart their own brothers. Absolute pandemonium it is. Varian the Grim getting stuck in. Absolute chaos. Marshlight Lanterns recharges. The last journey recharges. So in 30 seconds, we'll get another one. I'm sorry, I mistakenly assumed that this unit here was the different unit, but it's actually the same one. But look at Varian himself. He takes a sweet time. I think he's also got like a goatee. Look at that. He's got like a little skeleton goatee. He's the Flavor Flav of undead corpses, it would seem. Khorne troops are going to sally out again down the mountainside, but that's not going to help. Snippy's taken a little bit of damage, killed 134 so far. Nagash himself outshining all with 122 kills. Going to keep on keeping on here. Steinberg on his flank and Hans Lambda in the center. They're going to keep on shredding apart these Khorne worshippers as they get summoned. And look at that now. We have a second unit of Skeleton Reapers that has just formed. There we go. Going to turn on their brothers, and they're going to be very distressed about this. A Khorne Bloodletter unit is already collapsing. The other one getting that poison ability on them, not having a good old time. Lots of spooky, scary purple skeleton heads. Not a good time. We're going to keep on slaughtering them. We're going to do another Soul Siphon to top our units off, get their health back up. Look at all that green. We're a very gray and green faction, I've noticed. Steinberg is shifted to the left now. Going to be cutting Khorne worshippers in half. Meanwhile, Varian is going to take his sweet time trying to get, he's going to put himself into low gear for this one, put himself in tow. His little, we're going to call it a Subaru. His little Subaru is now taking his sweet time getting up that mountainside. He probably should go for new tires. I think one of them has a flat. And with that, the end of this defense. A staunch reminder of Nagash's tremendous power. We didn't even need the rest of his forces. We're going to see the effects of that on the campaign map. Thank you all for watching. Decisive victory. Decisive victory indeed. The Varian the Grim Chariot making a good name for himself. We got to see quite well how his ability works and just how much of a snowball that ability is. Snippy himself doing a decent amount of damage as well. Our heroes doing their thing. Aphostos, not being too deadly, but he was quintessential with taking down the towers, and Nagash himself being the center of the fighting.
Steal from hell.
Yeah, I will steal from hell. Thank you very much. We have now taken Gorgazon. We have a decent amount of money built up. I think we're going to get Nagash to his third. Ooh, very nice indeed. Yeah, we're going to get Nagash to his fourth tier of the Grand Pyramid. That is going to give him a crap ton of bonuses to army capacity. Winds of Magic in this province and adjacent provinces will be pushed up to Tempestuous. Enemy Winds of Magic Power Reserve -10 per turn. Yes, we need that. We're going to get more Winds of Magic. We're going to get more income. And we are going to reduce the cooldown for the Endless Tomb ability by 5 turns. Making it pretty much a constant surefire thing. He has unlocked another skill point. With that, we are going to probably get the very first book of Nagash, giving Foz protection to army troopers. Whoever is going to get that, I do not know.
You are not him.
We have a decent garrison for Khemri. If all else fails, Khemri, having the gold province, is worth all these settlements combined. 1,000 gold a turn plus 37% income boost. That is absolutely necessary to hold. Khemri, the former side of Nagash, Numos, all very useful settlements.
Not possible. I think not.
They are within range of Numos, but I'm not too fearful. We have a decent sized garrison with bone throwers. I think with that and the bonus of the walls, one army of wood elves shouldn't be too lethal.
Thine right is mine.
Meanwhile, we're gonna get Kasabar under wraps. Gonna colonize you. That is a tier 3 settlement. We are going to start building that up. Get ourselves a nice... We got ourselves a nice little sprawling empire here in the sands. Unfortunately, that's all we got. We got Nagash.
My bloodline calls.
We're not.
This is absurd.
This better be important.
For you, we are going to recruit some more archers. We want more archers in your army just to get you that much closer to full capacity. Some zombies as well.
You dare?
Yeah, I do dare. I'm sorry. Meanwhile, we can unlock another recruitment slot. Oh, okay. I think we're gonna get Krell on side. Summon Krell to your legion, spawning in Morkheim. Yeah, we're gonna get Krell on side. He is gonna give us even more technology. That's gonna be great. He is formerly marched and killed some more under the blessings of Khorne, the ultimate undead warrior, the most fitting tool for the master of death. So we're gonna use Khorne's own warrior against him. I think that's very befitting considering the scenario above us. We've spent about the last 30 plus turns fighting Skarbrand, and it shows. This has been an absolute brutal war of attrition. Can we give up Stormhenge? Let's see. I want to sell this stuff to my vassals to make a little bit more cash. Since you declared war,
Not since the coming of Morga has...
no, we can't. You know what? This is going to be a bit of a diplomacy episode right here.
Dear, that smells like grave rot. An unfortunate disease. Perhaps I could supply a cure.
Stop being weird. We're going to give you Stormhenge. You're going to give us money. Fair trade. Just to get them... we need to keep these vassals alive and nurture them up a little bit because, again, they're going to be our bulwark in the north, and they are our bulwark against the elves for right now as they start marching towards us. We're going to go to the quick deal tab, and we're going to see if we can't get any trade deals or anything with any of our neighbors. We cannot. No one likes us. How, we can build more buildings. I don't think we need to worry about that just yet. Not for the moment. We are going to have more skill points to assign. Yes, Hans Lambda. Get more melee defense and then some more melee defense. Just make you an extra bit of a tanky boy. Von Deal. Get the last tier of Scarred Veteran, topping you off at 7,260 HP, a very healthy number. Start getting Wound Maker on Oftos. Get some more weapon damage. Damaged buildings I'm not concerned about. We're going to end the turn here and see what the enemy has. Genevieve. Yep, that's what I thought. He's going to lightning strike this settlement. We have no way to defend it, so we're going to auto-resolve. Grunty Mingle has fallen to Skarbrand's ire. He is not done yet. He's going to hold on to it. Where are the summoned armies going to go? He's going to march down south to Archon. That's unfortunate. Archon's going to have to run interference for those armies. But once we clear those out, I think we're going to be able to focus on the Kalidor. I think... oh, there's Emmerich himself. Not a... he's suffering attrition, which is good for us. Clan Scryer, of course. Yeah, that's good. Let Clan Scryer and the Bloody Hands fight each other to our west, so long as they're not focusing on me. I'm surprised the dwarves haven't declared war on us also. Ruglash is going to march through the Nile. Gorfang Neck Snapper, they're just marching their troops through our territory. I'm surprised they haven't taken any attrition. Gorbad's Ironclaw Orcs are marching around the Badlands, very terrifying. Oh my goodness, Sylvania's down in the Border Princes. They got a massive legion. Absolutely massive. We need to check how big they are. Yep, they're going to come back and take that territory. Desolation of Drakmor has fallen. We are back to square one in the Silver Pinnacle. They are... Just take the territory, man. Come on. Okay, whatever. Our vassal has spawned another army stack. There we go. The enemy's going to attack Numos. Put it to siege. And we have unlocked Krell. Look at him. Krell, the Mortarch of Despair. Whole bunch of Graveguard, Nagash Guard, Skeleton Spearman, and, of course, he's got himself. He is very expensive, and he's going to take attrition. A very unfortunate situation we find ourselves in. We're going to look at what he has. He's got Immortal Challenger, plus 25% hit points, plus 8 melee defense. Might makes right, weapon strength of 20% when attacking. Spectral Executioner, minus 3 wound recovery per turn. So he's pretty much going to, if he dies at the end of the turn, he's going to come right back. He's going to have a base weapon strength and armor piercing weapon damage, base weapon damage and armor piercing weapon damage of 20% when the hit points are less than 20%. Makes him even more killy. Is that for the enemies? It's an augmented ability. I think it's when the enemy's at 20%. He's got skulls for the Skull Throne, income from post-battle loot 15%, income from raiding 50%, all of it's 15%, looting, sacking, etc., etc. Lots of money to be had with him. Forsaken by Khorne, he's going to have a melee attack plus 8, weapon strength plus 8, and charge bonus plus 8 for all units when fighting against Warriors of Chaos, Norska, and the Beastmen. Very useful for the situation we find ourselves in. And the Doomed Legion. Plus 8 melee defense for all infantry units. He's going to give hero recruit rank for White Kings all provinces by plus 5. He's going to get hero capacity plus 3 for Tomb Kings and White Kings, or Tomb Princes, sorry, and White Kings. He's going to reduce the upkeep by 30% for Graveguard and Nagash Guard. So we are going to really quickly get that one because we don't want to get bankrupt. You can see in the background here in the fog, we just went from minus 1,000 to a turn to minus 575. That is going to be very useful. We're going to make sure he's extra killy against Khorne. We're going to get all of these. His will be done. Minus 50% casualties suffered from all attrition, plus 15%. Okay. Yeah, we're going to get that too. Champion of Nagash, leadership aura size, plus 20%, and he unlocks heroic killing blow. Yeah, we're going to get all of his specials. We're going to get Restless Dead. Going to get some casualty replenishment rate. And we're going to start unlocking his melee tree. Melee attack. Oh my goodness. Look at him already. 86 melee attack, 71 melee defense. Whew. He's already got a decent amount of armor. We're going to give him melee defense. Get his melee attack up. Foe Seeker, weapon strength. He's almost as good as Skarbrand, if not a little bit better in terms of stats. He's almost there with the weapon strength. He has no quests. He's already unlocked his. He's already unlocked all his specials. He's got the Armor of Barrows, which gives him 20 armor, 10 melee defense, 40% spell resistance, and the ability Armor of the Barrows, which increases the cooldowns plus 10 seconds. Negates magical weapons within the affected area. The duration is infinite and in a 20-meter range, so he doesn't suffer from any magical attacks. He's got the Black Axe of Krell, which gives bonus versus large plus 15. Attacks cause discouraged effect, reducing leadership minus 16 leadership when he's fighting someone. And of course, plus 20% weapon strength. And he's got the Chaos Tomb Blade, which gives him plus 3% casualty replenishment rate, plus 6 melee attack. It enables magical attacks for him, gives him an additional 10% weapon strength, and it gives him the passive ability, which unlocks heals per second. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's a regeneration in an area, plus zero point 0.1 heal per second, plus 5 melee attack, 35 meters, affects all allies in range, enabled if leadership is higher than broken in melee. So long as they're not crumbling, they're going to be healing and being more killy. Absolutely insane. An excellent unlock. This man is going to be a force to be reckoned with. We just need to get him on the front lines.
Yes, my lord of death.
I don't really want Genevieve in an army because I don't think she's capable as a melee fighter. She has some decent melee stats, but I believe most of her abilities... We're gonna keep marching her north. We want to get Vlad von Karstein on side. Meanwhile, Numas is under threat. Khemri is gonna get gold, and we're gonna give it growth, because the faster we get Khemri on side, the better off we're going to be. We want to make sure that this settlement is up to snuff before we leave it. I do not want this settlement to fall. That'd be catastrophic. Okay, so we're going to end turn. Can we move? We can. We're going to march Manfred von Karstein up to the Springs of Eternal Life. Gonna colonize that. Gonna get you a little bit more cash. 279 bucks for that. That's not too bad. The legions of Asgore have been defeated. How unfortunate. Numas is under siege. Krell has been unlocked. Of course, we just went through all of Krell's special units. We've unlocked the Land of the Dead.
You are not him.
We're going to give our army... we're going to do Soul Harvest. We're going to get more income. We need this to be a economic powerhouse here in the center.
I grow impatient.
We're going to give Manfred some horde buildings to give himself some more income. That Bone Colossus is going to be legendary. In terms of technology, gain access to the Doomed Legion. I wonder what that is. Unit experience gain 100% for all armies. Yeah, we're going to get the Skull Collector so we can see what that Doomed Legion ability does. Don't have to worry about buildings. We don't have any more money for it. Skarbrand now is going to start marching south. We're not doing too bad yet. I'm not panicking just yet. They're putting pressure on Nagash, which is not what we want to do. I don't like how the orcs are moving south towards us. It might just be because they're chasing down those dwarves. But, you know, I wonder. Well, just to add insult to injury, we're going to have Malagor of the Dark Omen finally declare war on us. That's fine. That's going to clean up that center border there. I was wondering when that was going to happen. The real question is, where is this horde and what are they doing? Ghoul King's gonna chill out in Death Gorge. Oh, those sneaky little buggers. They're gonna siege us down. Either building siege buildings or something. Numos may fall, but we're gonna get Archon and Khemri, or Manfred and Archon together to get that together. That's actually almost as much. No, that's more income than the Spirit Siphon, but it doesn't give us growth. Never gonna get that to tier 3. We might do the growth for right now. Yeah, we're gonna get the Spirit Siphon. It's a little bit less cash, but it's gonna give us some more growth. We are now down to our last few pennies we're rubbing together here.
Even the Lore Master could not.
I'm not too worried about the Lore Master. I'm more worried about you. We are going to march Krell to the west. I believe we are going to focus him on, first of all, getting out of attrition. And then secondly, marching west. We want him to start taking Gronti Mingdal. Come back from the north in a pincer move. Hopefully be able to defeat Skarbrand in person, mano-a-mano. He's got the stats for it. The real question is, are we going to send Nagash east to help? I think we are. We're going to sally out. We're going to dump him in encampment stance, and we're going to march him east. We want to... we want to get him in roughly the same range to provide support. Will you be in range? We might. We're going to have to see next time what happens. We got Thena, Thumbelina. She's taking vampiric attrition as she marches north towards Nagash. We're going to see what she does. I'm hoping she doesn't blaze past us to the desolation and take out our warpstone. We haven't really been using it all that much. But we definitely want... Yeah, we need to start getting ourselves up and coming. We can get another ritual, the siphoning of Khemri, but we're nowhere close to being prepared for that. So we're going to end turn, and join me next time as we start to see how these front lines unfold. We got a lot of enemies around us. We're going to see how well we can hold. Skarbrand, believe it or not, is not dead. I thought after the second time we put him down, he might be done, but unfortunately that's not the case. And his army's marching to Qatar. How annoying. That's alright. That's not necessarily an economic powerhouse. Imrik is marching in towards Nagash. That's a very scary move. Lots of high elf armies. Good grief. They're starting to mobilize. And yep, she's going to pass us. She's going to try and march towards desolation of Nagash. We cannot allow that to happen. We want to maintain our income of warpstone. Speaking of, oh, what are they doing? Fimbar Grundadrak. Interesting name there. Massive battles going on in that western part of the desert. Nagbad Rotgut is marching towards the Silver Pinnacle. Hopefully we can defend against him. Alrighty, gang. The defense of New Moss. Can we hold? It's going to claim as a close defeat. We will find out in the next episode. Thank you all so much for watching.